Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
Happy Squirrely Thursday, folks. Good morning, and sorry anyone who might have been here an hour and a half ago and missed me because I wasn't actually here then. Getting used to this new schedule. So, good morning, everybody. I'm Stacy Brioka, the Squirrel Wrangler, and welcome to Show Me Your Nuts, where we wrangle those inner squirrels and get real about mental wellness and technology. Got texiety? I solved that. So let me ask you, how charged are your nuts today? Are your nuts charged? And what are they charged with? Are you charged for your week? For Oh, one moment, please. I have something else going that I don't know. I had another window open that had people in it. There were people in my computer. So 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. somewhere, and somebody is awake with anxiety. Because it's always, you know how they say it's always 5 p.m. somewhere, it's okay to drink? Well, it's always 2 a.m. somewhere, and somebody is always awake at 2 a.m. So I'm going to ask, how charged are your nuts about the being awake at 2 a.m.? And so when I say how charged are your nuts about being awake at 2 a.m., what I'm really asking is, have you ever been awake at 2 a.m. sometime when you shouldn't have been awake at 2 a.m.? Like you didn't want to be, you didn't choose to be, you didn't like the idea. So on a scale of 0 acorns to holy F10, what am I awake for? Have you ever been awake at 2 a.m.? Been not wanted to be. The older I get, the more frequently it happens, like literally to me, like, you know, here, there, and whatever, that my eyes pop open and it's 2:17 a.m. And so like some of it is that it could be that you are awake at 2 a.m. with what I call postmenopausal, what in the world am I awake at 2 a.m. for? Or the other side of things is for those of you who are younger than the menopause, 2 a.m. awake because WTF, I am worried about 16 things and being awake is not one of them. But thank you very much. And you're awake. And there's thought after thought after thought after thought running through your head. And it's not thoughts that you want to be running through your head at 2 a.m. because most of those should be like, ooh, 1 sheep over the fence, 2 sheep over the fence. Oh, look at that pretty rainbow over there. Oh, look at the unicorns. Oh, there's unicorns. Nice. Oh, I'm drinking a Mai Tai on the beach. You want to be thinking of those things while you're dreaming and all the fantastical things going on in your head, like really cool stuff. You don't want you're not choosing to be awake thinking of, "Oh, crap, I gotta pay that bill tomorrow. I got oh, the kids have such and such, and how am I gonna get kid A to place B when I really need to be over at place C for, oh, crap, I forgot what was gonna be in the what I forgot to set dinner out. Forgot to set something out for dinner, so now I'm gonna have to how am I gonna do all this?" And it's just thought after thought after thought, and they're they're everywhere, and it's not ADHD, okay? It feels everywhere, but that doesn't mean it has to be something like ADHD, scattered and things like that. So, you're awake, your brain's spinning, you're thinking of all the things. What do you do with that? What do you do? So, if you don't know, the squirrel wrangler here, otherwise known as Stacy, I'm a therapist of 25 plus years, and I've been dealing with I've dealt with almost any kind of diagnosis that you could think of. Predominantly, though, helped a lot of people with anxiety, daytime anxiety, 2 a.m. anxiety, um, extra anxiety, which newsflash, almost all of it's actually extra. I found that out later. But I found that out after I personally was able to put my own generalized anxiety disorder in remission in November of 2022. And I call it remission because I don't wake up at 2 a.m. with the anxiety thoughts anymore. I do wake up at 2 a.m., but that's the menopausal one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's a different animal. The 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't get to sleep because every thought in the entire world is running through my head. And I'm worried about all of them. They're all making me sick at my stomach. I can't get to sleep. Toss, turn, pillows one way, then pillows another way. I can't get comfortable, and, "Oh, wait, what? Oh, I gotta get up and do the other thing. I need to get up and write that down. I need to get up and go put the dishes away. I forgot to put the dishes away." All of those, and it feels very much like you're I'm gonna use a label that some people will describe things as, but it's not accurate, okay? And I'm gonna say it sounds like you're schizophrenic. It sounds like you're bipolar. It sounds like you're anxious. It sounds like you're ADHD, and it's none of those things. It is very likely anxiety, yes. And is it anxiety disorder? Maybe, maybe not. So let's back up from the mental health therapy clinical world of saying it's X, Y, or Z diagnosis. Because frankly, those are labels. They're labels we put on people so that we can document what they've got going on, so we can standardize what 16 people are sharing the same things. And then we can apply whatever treatments we learn as therapists to that thing so that then insurance knows what the thing is so we can bill for it. And at some point, it actually becomes very weighty, very heavy labels, not only for the clients, but also for the therapists. It becomes weighty labels for the clients because it puts them in a box. And I don't know about you, but as a human, I don't really like being put in a box of any kind because I am Stacy, and Stacy is lots of different things, and being in a box isn't one of them. You, as your human that you are, the only thing that's a quote unquote box that we all share is being a human being. Unless you're not a human being, and then, we can talk about that too. But we are all and frankly, in a way, so you could say we are all beings on this planet, because if you're speaking to me, for the most part, you're probably on this planet, because I don't think I've astral projected today. We're getting in the weeds, see? We're getting in the weeds of what box is what. And do you need to be in the weeds of what box is what to really understand what you as a individual are dealing with? So you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, and it doesn't have to be what somebody else's box says. And the only reason I deal with the boxes as a therapist is because that's the only way they pay us from insurance in the United States. So let's setting that aside and saying this thing that's happening. Let's get back to the thing that's happening at 2 a.m. and you've been laying there for hours. You can't get to sleep. There's 16 things going on in your head, and it's just over and over and over again, and sometimes the same things. It is a form of anxiety. It manifests different for every person, and it's uncomfortable AF. No matter whether you've been diagnosed, been put in a box otherwise, with a thing, or whether you're just dealing with one night that's that way. Doesn't matter. It's still uncomfortable. It's still frustrating, and it still disrupts your life. And those are the important things for me to hear as a therapist is somebody's got these things that are disrupting their life. I think those are the things that are important for us to talk about as humans or as whatever beings. Let's again, labels. It's important for us to talk about this thing is frustrating. Not attaching stigma to it, not attaching labels to it, not attaching whatever, but I'm awake at freaking 2 a.m. and the same thought running through my head that ran across it at 10 when I laid down, was there at 11:14 when I was still awake. When I looked at the clock last, it was 12:62 in the morning. And now it's 2:17 and I'm still worrying about the same things and I can't turn it off. That's the frustration, right? There's 4 people watching. I'd love for anybody, pop in a note about what you're feeling. I haven't had very many comments this morning, and that's okay. I just want to see if there's anybody really out there. It's 2 a.m. somewhere, and somebody is awake with thoughts going through their head over and over and over again. So I'd love to know what you do about it when you're awake at 2 a.m. What is it you do that helps? Before I kind of put my 2 cents in there and talk about some ideas of what I think can help and what I think, we've established one of the things that causes it is anxiety. Sometimes even just being awake and not being able to get to sleep triggers our brain to be, oh, it's time to be awake. Let's do that. Or if you act on one of the things. So, oh, I forgot to put such and such dish away. So you throw the covers back, you get out of bed, you go in the kitchen, you put the dish away, and then you notice that something else is going on, and then you realize you're thirsty, so you go ahead and drink some water. And then you're like, "Ooh, I gotta pee." So you head to the bathroom, you go pee. You think, "Oh, you know what? I need to brush my teeth. They feel icky." So you brush your teeth. All the things, right? In the course of the thought of, "I forgot to put that thing away," to where you end up where you're getting ready to lay back down in the bed, you've done 16 things, you've activated your body. Physically, your blood's running through your body more. Mentally, you've done 16 other things. So your brain's activated, the neurons are firing, and then you're really awake and you're kind of starting out back where you were at 10:30 when you laid down again. Sometimes the being awake at 2 a.m. is because you have activated yourself again by getting up and doing the things. The hard balance is between what do you do to keep from activating yourself, but how do you get the stuff to stop? So I'm going to give you a couple of tips and tricks and ideas of what I have done in the past. And this is not from the therapist, Stacy. This is from the squirrel wrangler who's learned how to worked on wrangling her own squirrels. Now, does that mean I'm perfect at it? Absolutely freaking not. It means I work at it all the time. And really what it means to be the squirrel wrangler is I know that they're important. I know the squirrels are important. So it's important to keep them, but you got to wrangle the little bastards and put them somewhere until you need them. And at 2 a.m. is a time when you're like, you don't need the little bastards. You need to wrangle them. Right. And a sangness, I am so glad to see you too. I know you're late, but you're here. I love the fact that you're here. Just the fact that there are people here. Speaking of wrangling squirrels, I'm wrangling sangs. You gotta those thoughts that are happening at 2 in the morning, it's not that they're not important. It's that you have to wrangle them. It's you have to do something with them, and just throwing them out and not having them is not necessarily the best solution to them. And as we've talked about, throwing the covers off, going into the kitchen and doing the thing, and then going to the bathroom and doing the thing, and then going and then you're activated. Your body is activated. You've got blood running through your body. You've got neurons firing. Your body thinks, "Oh, it's time to get my ass up and get going." And it's like, "No, it's 11:36 and I just needed to go ahead and move that dish or I was going to think about it all night." And now you're awake again and you're starting your bedtime routine of like how to fall asleep but your brain's activated and it's 11:45. It's 11:52. It's 12:13. In our age of technology, thankfully, we have multiple tools we can use for things. And this is where having lots of different ways to deal with the thing is a blessing. So what would happen if 2 in the morning, all the thoughts going through your head, what would happen if you dumped them out of your brain? And I don't mean getting up and doing them because that's going to activate your body. And we've just talked about that a couple times. What I mean is, how do you get the things out of your head where they need to be and not activate everything else, not activating all the systems because they're supposed to be in system shutdown, not system ramp up. So you keep this is for saying, you keep a stack of sticky notes next to the bed, or you keep your handy dandy journal next to the bed with a pen. Yes, Geek Girl here does have paper and pen near her all the time. You also could grab your phone, set the button on it on the side. If you have an iPhone, you can set up the button to do certain things. Set your button to take voice messages so that you don't actually even have to open your eyes and activate that. You literally click the button and tell it blah, 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 done, and set it aside. And you dump out every single thought in your head. That's called brain dumping. Even if it doesn't make sense, it's a string of things that don't make sense of, oh, there's the unicorn. Give me 3 ways that I can run my business tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I need to remember to call Jessica and tell her that I got her email about the show being late. Oh, wait a minute. I need to remember to oh, I've got to remember to make yogurt tomorrow. And wait a minute, there's a fire going. Oh, I can hear a fire. That's the other thing. Whatever string of thoughts there are, they don't make sense. It's okay that they don't make sense. It's 12:13 in the morning. Nothing should make sense except getting to sleep. But you're not going to get to sleep until you get the things out of your head. And unicorns at 2 a.m. are not only real, they should be real in freaking dream world, not that you're speaking of them, right? It's that I want to be asleep seeing the unicorns. I don't want to freaking I don't want to I don't want to have to be like telling my phone about the unicorns. But there you are. So stack a sticky notes or your notebook. Set your phone up so that you can click the button and do a voice message. Or one of my other favorites is if you have Alexa, and I have to say it that way or she'll answer me, or you have the Googles, or you have SIRI on your phone, any of those things, you can say, "Hey, so and so," or as I wish they'd have a trigger word of, "Hey, bitch, take a note for me." I know I cuss at my my stuff and uh hey, take a note for me. Hey, Alexa, remind me at you know such and such AM or such and such PM tomorrow that blah 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 unicorns at 2 AM are real. Brain dump everything you can. After you've brain dumped all the things that you can think of out of your mind, then there's a couple of other exercises I want you to practice. And I want you to practice them whether you're up at 2 AM chasing unicorns down the hall or whether it's 10 whatever time you go to bed. It's your bedtime and you're relaxing but trying not to think of blue ducks and squirrels. And as you're laying there relaxing and think of trying not to think of the ducks and squirrels, I want you to take a big breath in through your nose for a slow count of 4. And I'm going to do it here right now. And I'm going to be exaggerative and it's going to be funny. So I can't watch my face. But big breath in through your nose, slow count of 4. Then you hold it for a slow count of 4. Then out through your mouth for a count of at least 4. And I mean, when you push that breath out of yourself, I want you to act like somebody's squeezing your lungs so tight that there will never be breath in them again. And then take a couple of regular breaths and then do it all again and do it 4 times. So any child who can count to 4 can do this. I call it 1, 2, 3, 4 breathing. It's also, you can look it up. It's called box breathing. You've probably learned it before. You've probably learned any number of ways to do it. And here I go if I don't cough. In through your everybody in the audience. I see Jessica. I see Sang. Let's try it. In through your nose, slow count of. Hold it. Out through your mouth. Then a couple of regular breaths. You can cough if you need to. Or you could get something to drink if you need to. That's what I get for demonstrating that, right? Okay. Then the whole thing at least 4 times. What that's going to do for your body, for your brain, for your everything, you're going to have oxygen running through your body, not getting up running blood through your body as you're going through the house chasing unicorns. The exhale is going to get rid of potentially any kinds of like get rid of toxins and things. So the inhale brings in fresh oxygen. We know that. The exhale puts out CO2. The more you can press out of your lungs, the next breath is going to bring in even more. And as you stretch those muscles in your and I'm not a physical therapist, doctor, I don't play one on TV. I'm explaining this the best way I can as a human being. The more you expand that part of your lungs as you can, the farthest you can expand it and then contract it, think about it like working your lungs out, like working those little alveoli in your lungs, like having them stretch and okay. And as you know, if you know, when you hold a muscle tight and then you relax it, or you let go of holding it tight, rather, it is, and you focus on it mindfully, you're going to relax the whole muscle even more than it was before. It's going to release different chemicals into your body when you're doing that. I don't know all the biochem of that, thank God. Like I said, not a doctor, not a physical therapist, don't play one on TV. But as you do that, and I know that as your brain mindfully tells that muscle to relax, and you focus on telling it to relax and get softer and relax farther into the bed. And again, as you're relaxing into the bed, you are melting and you are feeling more tired. And yes, I am using my hypnosis voice on purpose. I want you to think with that voice. I want you to think with the long on the word relax. And as you think of that word relax and you think of it with the long relax, I want you to focus on that one muscle and focus on that muscle feeling softer. We literally can tell our body and our mind to relax. And we can, as we focus on it, and I'm not going to say this works absolutely the first time you try it. This is practice, okay? You have to practice this even when you're not awake at 2 a.m. You have to practice this thing every night when you go to bed so that it becomes your automatic reaction when you lay down, that you do that breathing exercise. Now, let's say you did all four of you thought you did all four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The in through your nose, hold it out through your mouth, in through your nose, out, hold it out through your mouth. All that. You did it 4 times and you're still fucking awake. There's still unicorns in your head. Okay. It's all right. The next exercise I want you to do is called progressive muscle relaxation. And it's where you literally tighten up your toes and you crunch your toes as scrunchy as they can get. And you hold them for 15 to 30 seconds. And then you purposefully relax, like I was talking about. Focus your mind on your toes melting. And then scrunch up your feet and focus on how that feels for your muscle to be so tight. And then focus on them relaxing. And then the bottom of your foot. And you work your way, picture working your muscles all the way from the tips of your toes, each muscle group, holding it for 15 to 30 seconds, and then relaxing it as far as you can, as relaxed as you can, as soft as you can make yourself. And then all the way up. If you make it to your head and you're still awake, You're still thinking about the unicorns and not dreaming about them. That's going to be a new one. And Sang says just run with them. It's okay. Is run with them, but do you run with them down the hall or do you run with them in the dream? So like the thing here is to try and get in running them with the dream. But I'll get to the run down the hall with them in a little bit when we talk about the menopausal one. You do the muscle groups all the way up. If you make it to your head and you're still awake and it's now 2:43 and you're still awake. Okay. It's all right. Go back to the telling ALEXA, Google, or SIRI, the list of things in your head. Then do the breathings again. Then do the muscles again. If you're still awake after that, let's talk about what to do when you're postmenopausal and you wake up in the morning. Because anything premenopausal and you've done all of those things a couple, 2 or 3 times, you might want to follow the postmenopausal rule. When you're before that, you got so many responsibilities, you need to get yourself to sleep. And you might have a 9 to 5, so you really got to get yourself to sleep. Those of you who either are self-employed, postmenopausal and or retired, or somehow are lucky enough to have the flexibility to be able to do this. The other way that 2:17 in the morning manifests is when you get past a certain age and your body starts doing everything different. You do and don't want to, you want to eat more than you usually do. You want to eat less than you usually do. You want to sleep more than you do. You want to sleep less than you do. You want to and I know it's got to be hormonal. Again, not doctor, don't play one on TV. It's got to be biochem. And we can't always manipulate our biochem. We can do what we can, but we can only manipulate it so much. Postmenopausal, frequently, wake up at 2:17 in the morning, wide awake, eyes go pop and pop open. And you try and, you're like, oh, I got to pee. So you get up, you go to the bathroom, and boom, what have you done? You've activated yourself. But if you didn't, you were going to pee the bed. So there's that. So you get up, you go to the bathroom, you come back, you try to do the breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and brain dumping in whatever order it happens. And all of a sudden you're still awake. And now it's 3:16. Okay. The other side of the equation is, at what point do you go, okay, I have now been awake for an hour. I've tried all the things. I might as well get up and be activated and do something. Because if I'm going to lay here, I might as well get something done. So there's 2 reasons that we can be up at 2 in the morning. You can be worried about all sorts of things, having all the thoughts, having all the ducks and the unicorns and the squirrels running and playing and wanting your attention. Or you can be at a certain age where you just wake up at 1, 2, 4 weird times in the morning, and you either have to pee, that's what woke you up, or for no reason at all, and you're awake. Doesn't matter which of those that wakes you up, or that either keeps you awake or wakes you up. It's 2 a.m. somewhere, and somebody's awake and frustrated. I hope that the ideas of brain dumping, progressive muscle relaxation, and breathing and in some kind of order, that those are helpful. I also, thankfully with the YouTubes, we have lots of fun other tools, white noise, brown noise, pink noise. You can have apps that have all different, every color of noise. Who knew that noise was in so many colors? And different colors work for different people. They work for different reasons. And when I say brown noise, white noise, blue noise, all the colors of noise, the other thing you can think about is things like crackling fires or rippling water or raindrops or um, trains, the sound of trains or cars going down the highway, or the sounds of birds, any kinds of repetitive sounds. And each of the soundscapes, if you will, gives us a different feeling in our body. Sound, frequency, feelings causes us to be somewhere. Sometimes those are anchored to us. I'm not going to go into anchoring today, but we might do that another day. Anchoring's an NLP concept. You can look it up. It's really cool. It's one you can use to fix things. It's also one that can show you where things are broken. You turn those different soundscapes on, and that can help you distract you and cage the squirrels of all the things, all the thoughts that you're having. So you brain dump, and then you turn the white noise on to keep them from coming back. Or you can use it just for calming. You can use it and have the sound on and focus on the sound. Focus on just the sound. Take your eyes, instead of, obviously, when we're trying to go to sleep, we have our eyes closed. But the other way to do it is keep your eyes open. Look across the room. If you've got like maybe you've got a TV on, maybe you've got a device like a humidifier on, maybe you've got an alarm clock, old school alarm clock. You've got some kind of electronic device or something that has a light on it. And so if you have a light in the room, a lot of times TVs also, they'll have that little light where it, for the remote or showing that the device has power. Take your eyes, look at that light, and do what's called softening your gaze. So softening your gaze is kind of like making your eyes fuzzy on purpose. All right, so you look across at that light and you soften your gaze. It's a couple different, things that does. Is that one, it's mindful softening of yourself again. The other thing that works for is called Hakalau. It's called the learning state. Again, we're not talking about that one today, but you can look it up. That doing what you can to focus on something other than the thoughts after, or, and especially that after you've brain dumped them. You've got to sometimes just brain dump all the things, because otherwise they're there. The magic of brain dumping is, one, that you are putting the ideas, the things, into another place so that they're there when you wake up. So you're telling your mind, hey, I'm going to go and put all of these things in my notebook, on the sticky notes, in my phone, tell an ALEXA, wherever they're going. I'm going to do that so that they'll be there when I'm awake. And what that does with the anxiety is tells the anxiety, oh, you don't have to have this feeling because the thing's going to be there when I'm awake. It's simplistic and doesn't always work, but it's kind of like telling your brain, hey, there's nothing I can do about that shit right now, and I really need to sleep. And to an extent, that can work. Again, every individual is different. None of us are in a box. No one's 2 a.m. anxiety is the same. My 2 a.m. anxiety looks different than Sang's, than Jessica's, than everybody's. My recipe, what I'm talking about of how to fix it, may not work for you. So that's why I'm saying look at all of the different things. Look at the soundscapes on apps on the phone. YouTube has lots of, and they have lots of really cool videos where if you do a search in YouTube for um, whatever color of noise, whatever you can even do, you can do sleep hypnosis and self hypnosis of um, different types of self hypnosis for pain, for falling asleep, for all sorts of things. YouTube has lots of different videos on that. I'm not going to say who's good, who's bad, who's not. There's lots of them out there. I think really it's finding one that works for you. And they have many of them that if you do a search, insomnia, self hypnosis, and also put in your search black screen. And so if you put insomnia in quotes and then put the word and then put hypnosis, self hypnosis in quotes, and then the word and then the word black screen in quotes, it will help your search bring up more specific things for you. So learning how to do a good Google search is important. And Google owns YouTube, so Google is able to find you the things on the YouTubes. Finding and create yourself a playlist of the ones you're trying and then go through that sometime during the day when your brain's activated and the ones that you like, oh yeah, these are good ones. Create a playlist of the YouTubes and the brown noises and the different things that are good for you so that it's there quickly and readily at the focus. So you're not activating your mind by looking for the things when you really are needing to shut your mind down. So I think to just kind of give us a wrap. First, I'm going to look in the comments because Sang's been giving us some good ones. Not everybody takes bubble baths at 2 a.m. However, I do think that the bubble baths at 2 a.m. is a great one for, well, shit, I'm going to be awake anyway. I might as well get up and do something. And then sometimes a bubble bath might also it's either going to activate you and you're going to be excited and be up for the day, or it's going to help relax you and you're going to fall asleep. Just be careful. Don't fall asleep in the tub and don't drown. That would not be good. That would be against the things we're thinking of, right? The Mind Meditation YouTube channel is Miss Sang Alicia's favorite. And so mark that one down, the Mind Meditation YouTube channel. I'm going to have to look that one up. I have a playlist. I couldn't tell you for sure which ones are my favorites right now. I can say that my favorite guided meditation ever is called This Feeling Is You by Jessica Boston. So I'll put that one in the chat. She is amazing. And I'm going to try and tag her in it. We'll see if it brings her up. I don't know. That would be really cool if it tagged her and she sees me. I'm going to actually go back to the show after the show plays today. I'm going to go back and see if I can find her and tag her. Because my favorite guided meditation, This Feeling Is You by Jessica Boston. And she has an amazing hypnosis voice. I love her hypnosis voice. The meditation itself is incredibly well produced, sound-wise, and has some great hypnotic soundscapes in it. It's a series of about, I'm going to count this wrong because I don't have it pulled up, but 6 to 8 different little different tracks. So it's a full album. I actually bought the CD of it because I loved it so much. I've never opened and played the CD because I always listen to it on one of her streaming channels. But if I ever were to lose the option to listen to it on streaming, I bought that CD because I had to have it in physical person just in case, right? There's about 8 tracks and you want to listen to them in order, but it doesn't matter if you fall asleep. Also, though, be ready to have a good couple of hours to sleep if you do listen to it, because if you do, you'll want to listen to it kind of you want to let yourself go to sleep. This isn't just a hip one to take a nap to, a 20-minute nap to. You want to have a good couple of hours to soak that one in. And the really cool part about it is it's different every time you listen to it. The tracks are the same, her stuff's the same, she's saying the same thing, but your experience, you will get something different out of it every time. Hats off, you know, props to Jessica Boston. I absolutely love that she has some others too, but This Feeling Is You is out of this world. I will refer people to it forever. As a matter of fact, I think I actually do have. Yes, I do. There's the Spotify link to it. That's her Spotify link. Hopefully that one works. Anyway, love me some Jessica Boston. It's a great one to help you get to sleep. I mean, I have used it when I've been insomniated. Yeah, that one. I've used it before then, and it's great to help get you to sleepins. Um, I have had people say that one doesn't work for them though. And again, each brain works different. Who knew? Diversity on this planet. We're all not the same. Thank God, because I think that would be like boring AF. In fact, I don't know that I'd be on here on a show if we were all the same. Why? Why would we even like? I don't know what we would do if we were all the same. I hope that even if it's 2 a.m. somewhere and somebody is awake watching this, I hope that you're able to slept off into dreamland, to chase the unicorns and the ducks and the squirrels. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, talk to Jessica. She's runs the Breakthrough Show Network. This amazing place that I'm sitting is because of her. And there's amazing shows there, and come play with us. Come play with us at the Breakthrough Show Network. It's just fun. And okay, so sang with the mic drop, as usual, we would ride our unicorns into the field of dreams. I want to ride unicorns into the field of dreams with you guys because, why not? Like I think mine's blue. I think my unicorn is blue with sparkles, with blue with silver spark pink. I absolutely sang has a pink unicorn. There's no doubt about that. Jessica has a blue duck. So there's that. My blue unicorn with silver sparkles might have to have like a herd of squirrels chasing it. I think. I'm not sure. I hope you all have sweet dreams. If you're struggling having the sweet dreams and the anxieties are keeping you up at 2 a.m., test and try different things. Test and try things like brain dumping, progressive muscle relaxation, box breathing, brown noise, white noise, whatever color noise you want, self-hypnosis videos, and find which ones work for you. And if one's not working one day, try something else. Then the other thing you can do, especially if it is anxiety, is work with somebody. It doesn't have to be a therapist. And this show's all about like breaking the stigma of mental wellness. Yet I know that people still feel uncomfortable asking for help. Asking for help, whether it is asking or going to a therapist, asking a friend for help, asking your chosen faith leader or spiritual teacher, getting a coach, asking anybody for help is one of the hardest things we do as humans. I don't know why, because we're all on this planet for a reason. I mean, if we didn't need to ask for help, we'd be on a planet individually by ourselves, and that'd be boring AF anyway. It would be lonely. And we probably are on those planets, but I don't know that we're human when we're doing it, because as humans, I know we're social creatures. Like, we have to have social to whatever extent. I know there's some who aren't as social as others, and they don't want near as much. But even then, I think we all need social at some level. We all need each other at some level. We give and get things from each other. And that's part of what this life is about, is giving and is the giving and receiving of information, frequencies, love, hugs, all the things with and for each other. And in that, or yet in that, asking someone else for help is one of the hardest things that we have challenges with. And it's okay to, one, not feel okay. In this particular life, we are not wanting, we came here to experience all the range of emotions, of the things, of the experiences. And so if we didn't do that, we wouldn't have the not okay times. And it's okay to not be okay, to not feel okay. Number one. Number two, it's also okay to ask somebody for help, because somebody else's perspective may give you a glimpse, a glimmer of your pink unicorn that's out there for you to fall asleep to. It may just remind you that you're not alone. So it's okay to ask for help. I know it's hard, but it's okay. It's also okay to experience it, uncomfortable as it may be. Sometimes sitting in our discomfort is what brings us our lessons. So try all the things next time that you're awake and it's 2 a.m. And also reach out to somewhere, someone, something to get help if it's anxiety. Because we may have come here for that experience, but no one on this planet should have to live 24/7, 365 with anxiety, whether it's generalized anxiety disorder, whether it's anxiety based on post-traumatic stress, whether it's anxiety or of OCD. None of those things should cripple any of our lives. And there are many different ways to work with them. Doesn't have to be a therapist. Can be a friend listening to a friend. There's lots of different things. Try whatever the different things are that work for you. And then if they don't, work with another one. Try another one. Because no one should have to be crippled with that shit. And I think that's a good place to leave us for today, is nobody should be crippled with anxiety. And if you're feeling that way, it's okay to ask for help. Next week, I will see you again so you can show me your nuts. My name's Stacy Brayoka. This has been Show Me Your Nuts, and I will see you next week.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.